Hello, America. Welcome to the Glenn Beck program and The Blaze. I'm Erick Stakelbeck, filling in for Glenn. You know, I work in Washington, D.C., the belly of the beast. And every day I talk to a lot of highly educated, well-traveled, influential folks about what's going on in the world and what's coming. Over the course of countless hours of conversations, meals, and interviews, I've found that only a very small handful realize the full magnitude of what is unfolding right now in the Middle East and how it is going to affect every American. When I find these fellow watchmen, we automatically connect. We may work inside the Beltway, but we're not of the Beltway. And thank God for that. Because right now, if you're looking at the world in a safe, predictable, conventional Washington kind of way and counting on everyone to come to their senses, stand down, and hug it out in the end, well, get ready for the ultimate cluster. Now, my message here isn't exactly sunshine and lollipops, I know. But if it's any consolation, you're going to be more informed, and you're going to know the truth. And the truth is, war is coming to the Middle East. What I'm about to tell you is literally the direct opposite of what the mainstream media and the Obama administration are telling you every day. It's a government media complex that is, in many cases, willfully misleading the American people. Know this: Iran's new president is not moderate, and nothing short of military action will stop the Iranian nuclear weapons program. There will not be peace anytime soon between Israel and the Palestinians. The Palestinians will not recognize Israel's right to exist, and Hamas will not lay down its arms, because then, folks, it wouldn't be Hamas. The same goes for Iran's proxy Hezbollah, which has at least 50,000 rockets and missiles aimed at every inch of Israel. Syria is on fire, and it will get worse. Egypt is very close to being on fire, and the Muslim Brotherhood and its radical Islamist allies will not go quietly. Bank on it. Over in Jordan, King Abdullah is quaking in his boots. Turkey, our great democratic hope in the region, has gone to the Islamists, and it's not coming back anytime soon. As for Iraq, I talked to a well-informed source recently who spends a lot of time there. He told me it's an absolute mess. In fact, Iranian agents are finding and killing Iraqis who worked with the U.S. during the American occupation. How nice. As all of this madness unfolds in the Middle East, Putin's Russia lurks in the background, itching to throw its weight around and embarrass the United States. And then there is Al, nearing defeat, Qaeda.
A new tower rises above the New York skyline. Al-Qaeda is on the path to defeat, and Osama bin Laden is dead. While a new tower is rising above the New York skyline, Al-Qaeda is on the path to defeat, and Osama bin Laden is dead.
Heck of a job, Barry. Wrap your head around this. Al-Qaeda and its allies now cover more geographical ground around the world than they did on 9/11. Al-Qaeda is growing. Just look at this map. Pakistan, Syria, Libya, Yemen, Iraq, Algeria, Nigeria, Mali, Europe. The list goes on and on. Here in America, 2 Al-Qaeda sympathizers shut down a major city for the better part of a week back in April, killing 3 people and wounding 264 more at the Boston Marathon. Now, 19 of our embassies are closed around the Muslim world, and in recent days, we've had massive jailbreaks in 4 of those countries, where hundreds of hardened Al-Qaeda members escaped. And guess what? Our government won't even call them jihadists or Islamic terrorists anymore. They're just violent extremists. Just a few bad apples. So, after reviewing all of this, I have to ask you, after 12 years of blood and treasure invested in the war on terror, what do we have to show for it? Really?
But what I know is that thanks to incredible service of our men and women in uniform, Al-Qaeda's on the run, and Osama bin Laden is no more. I said we'd refocus on the people who actually attacked us on 9/11. And today, Al-Qaeda's on the run and Osama bin Laden is dead.
Mind you, He said this after Benghazi. America, you've been lied to. There's no other way to put it. I just laid it out for you. We are on the run right now in the Middle East and North Africa, disrespected, intimidated, and threatened by two-bit jihadist flea bags. As a proud citizen of the greatest country in the history of mankind, that tears me up.
Our systematic effort to dismantle terrorist organizations must continue. But this war, like all wars, must end. That's what history advises. That's what our democracy demands.
Sorry, Mr. President, but you don't get to decide when this war is over, because the jihadists didn't get the memo. I know it's a big distraction from your mission to fundamentally transform America, which you are doing to great success. But wishing won't make radical Islam go away. Neither will embracing the Muslim Brotherhood and throwing Israel under the bus, which you have done at every turn. That Cairo speech from 2009 is just a punchline now. And oh, that war you just can't be bothered with is now on the horizon, thanks in large part to your policies. Right now, I see three potential triggers. Number one, Egypt. The Muslim Brotherhood and its allies will not go quietly. There is the real possibility that civil war is coming to the most populous and influential Arab nation. Do the terrorists target the Suez Canal and all that oil that passes through it every day? Do they instigate some kind of skirmish out of the Sinai Peninsula with Israel? How will that affect oil and gas prices and your pocketbook? Oh, and guess what? It's not just al-Qaeda threatening our embassies. Last month, a top Muslim Brotherhood leader called for a, quote, siege of the American embassy in Cairo. Ladies and gentlemen, our allies, the Muslim Brotherhood. As I outline in my new book, The Brotherhood, America's Next Great Enemy. The Brotherhood is a sworn foe of the United States. Yet, the Obama administration would love to see them back in power in Egypt. Don't doubt it. And Republican Senators John McCain and Lindsey Graham, the dynamic duo, were in Egypt this week meeting with Brotherhood leaders. They're mad about how Mohamed Morsi was treated, so unfair, and they seem to want him back. Now, McCain and Graham, the two supposed foreign policy thinkers of the Republican Party, also want us to throw our weight behind the so-called rebels in Syria, which is, by the way, my second possible trigger point. What you need to know about Syria is that most of the rebels our government wants to arm are affiliated with al-Qaeda. Yeah, the Syrian opposition is dominated by jihadists. Whoa! Did we learn nothing from arming al-Qaeda in Libya? Of course we didn't. By the way, Syria has the largest biological and chemical weapons stockpile in the Middle East. And whether the rebels use them or Assad decides to go out in a blaze of glory and aim them at, say, Tel Aviv, we've got war. Now, the third, and to my mind, most likely trigger for the coming war, and it's coming, is Iran's nuclear weapons program. They want the bomb, and they're very close to getting it. Israel will never allow them to do it. I know it sounds crazy, but Israelis want to live, and they know that Iran's mullahs want to kill them very badly. So you do the math. Here's the deal, folks. Roughly half of our country, I want you to understand this, is probably not ready for what's coming. Heck, our government isn't ready. But if you are watching The Blaze TV, you are ready. You know, I like to quote from the Bible from time to time, and whether you believe the Bible or you don't believe the Bible, I think we can all agree that there is much wisdom in the good book. One passage I've thought about a lot lately is in 1 Chronicles. It talks about the men of Issachar. They were an elite group of 200 who advised King David during a time of great trouble. The Bible says these men of Issachar understood the signs and the times, and they knew what Israel should do about it. I'm asking you right now to be men and women of Issachar for America. It won't be easy. It never is. But we will get through this together.